3, 2, 1, in the building.
Thank you, bro.
Asked me if I was ready. Vern hit the camera on time. Look at this shit. It's not like we've been running late all morning. It was one of those mornings, though. Like, when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, man, bro, this is just one of those mornings that everything's taking a little bit longer than it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And of course, it's on a day that we got a guest. Like when it's just us in here talking shit, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Whatever. But I'm like, be here at 10:30. We're professional, on time. Shit, he seen me leaving the fucking parking lot. I'll be right back, dog. We forgot some. What do you think? Should we just go straight up in the intro?
Do it.
You are now tuned in to Respect the Connect. I'm your humble, gracious, and highly favored host, Johnny James, and I'm back with a few of my nearest and dearest. Jay Travis in a building. What's cracking, Jay?
Man, I'm posted today, dog.
Posted. Not even toasted.
Nah, nope.
Len Words is in the building. What's poppin', Len Words?
It's popping like over red.
Like Orville Red. Hey, for a second, you guys thought he was gonna hit you with a different one, right? It's popping like motherfucking Orville Redenbachen. And as you can see, we are joined with a very special guest. Rob Vanderslice is in the building. Make some motherfucking noise, Jay.
Yes.
Look at that shit. We might have been a little late, but the intro was perfect.
Yeah, sharp.
Boom. There we
Hey,
go.
and there's not even any cue cards, dog. Like, no cue cards, bro. We ain't got a script. That's another thing people ask me all the time. They're like, so when you have a guest, do you like send them the questions? Fuck no, bro. What? Can you imagine if I was like, hey, Rob, dog, so this is gonna be the question that I'm gonna ask right when we hit it. Is this off? Like, that's, for one, if you're gonna start the interview process, because I guess technically this is a fucking interview, right? On some weirdo shit like that out the gate, it's gonna be strange, dog. You're gonna pull up over here like, whoa, shit, man, he sent me like 5 questions that I have to fucking study.
I got homework.
Yeah, I got homework. Like that, I don't know. I think
That's funny.
I think people see it and they think it's more of like a planned out production than it actually is. Like, of course, we set up the cameras and we know kind of where we're gonna go, but there ain't no cue cards. I ain't even got a whiteboard to tell me like subjects we should talk about.
We're winging it, Jerry.
We're
We're
winging
winging
it.
it.
That's
Freestyle.
I think that's, you're an artist, so there's an art to that.
Right.
I feel you really get to know a person when you're just kind of just talking like that.
Right.
And especially like long form. Like, you know, nowadays people are so short form content.
Right.
They want the microwave cookie cutter type shit. Give me that 30-second clip. If you only talk to somebody for like 30 minutes and that's it, but if you hit like an hour and 20 minutes and you've been talking for a while, you're like, okay, now I really know. He knows who I am and I know who he is. And that's what the platform is for me. I don't want to do that type of shit. So to answer your question, audience, I did not send Rob a script, all right? He didn't know what we're gonna ask. He had no idea, neither did Jay. Never. I never give Jay a head up.
Well, I think, let me tell you, a lot of times when I go do an interview, beforehand talking, like how we were a little bit before this, almost all the raw things are said prior to even the recording. And then once it gets pressed, once you press record, you know, it's like a whole different atmosphere, and they missed a lot of stuff, and you can't recreate that. You know, like kind of out in Pueblo, the lady out recording the bike club out there is everybody from Kansas, from Pueblo, from here, from different places, and it was such good footage, but they weren't recording. And then, of course, when it was time to record, you can't recreate, you know, a natural freestyle, you know, conversation.
100%. It happens all the time. And
Right.
especially because we've been doing this now, we said 136. So I'm kind of used to it. I've been in front of the camera for a large portion of my life as well. Some people aren't, right? So when you hit record, people are like, oh, shit. What do I do with my hands?
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Right.
Whereas beforehand, we're just talking shit and everybody's like on it.
Right.
And that's why I like to like no script, sit down, let's record as soon as we get here.
All natural.
And it's all natural. I think
Organic.
it's easier to hit the organic vibes like
Right.
that. Because we talked about this last week, but like we had the 5th episode, right? We were still recording in my backyard, dog. And Diego Sanchez hits me up out of nowhere. He's like, hey, brother, can I be on your podcast? I was like, I don't know, dog. Let me think about it, bruh. He's never even been on Joe Rogan or none of those pods, right?
Right.
I'm telling you, we didn't even have matching cameras, my dude. And Diego wants to pull up. So he pulled up. Again, I didn't know, still don't know. Do any of us even know what the fuck we're doing? Because I don't know. I feel like I'm constantly freestyling shit, right?
Right.
That's how you figure it out. So we sit down and it was a great conversation. But then we turned the cameras off, right? And we kicked it in the studio for like another 2 hours. Whoo, I wish that was a podcast.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Bro.
A lot of that raw, organic talking, because once everything does go on, it seems like you got to be in this little box and you can't be natural sometimes.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So behind the scenes, so, like what you got set up here, where it is just, people just sitting, we're just sitting here talking.
Just comfortable,
More
dog.
organic.
Like that probably, we were watching your 60 Minutes interview. I was like, damn, that's crazy. 60 Minutes still reminds me of Sundays and having to go back to school.
Yeah.
I'd hear the 60 Minutes song. I'm like, damn, fucking weekend's
tick,
over.
tick, tick,
tick, tick, tick, tick, tick. Shit. Have to listen to fucking Andy Rooney. Wasn't it Andy Rooney?
Yeah,
Yes.
something like that.
And Andy Rooney.
Like you said, Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters.
Whatever else.
We're getting old, dog. We're getting old, right? Those are the people. But there's no new, real television people.
Right.
Who the fuck watches the news anymore?
Well,
Same
that's-
people listen to the radio.
And that's probably, honestly, the 60 Minutes is geared towards, probably our age and older. And you got to think, that's pretty much a dying audience. It's pretty much all going to this, like the Joe Rogans. I watch a lot of other podcasts too that ain't mainstream media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, bro, I like that format better.
Right.
Because you said it yourself, it can't really be prettied up, right?
Right.
So I'm assuming, did 60 Minutes come out here?
Yeah, they came out to Albuquerque during Good Friday in 24. They went to Espanola. They came here. They went up and talked to Joanna and Lolo up there, by the Santuario. They, pretty much wanted to do like the lowrider culture here in New Mexico, which was a blessing.
It 100% is.
Yep. It was a positive story, which was good, versus negative story.
It's because that's the ones that they try and run all the time.
Right.
That's the shit that gets clicks, though.
Right.
That's the people could look at, we could sit up here and talk about how great everything is for an hour and a half and get 3 fucking views.
Right.
But if we bring somebody on here and we talk all kinds of crazy shit, watch that shit go viral
Right.
like that.
That's the world. You know what I mean? Always want to be about the negative instead of lifting people up. They'd rather see people getting tore down, fights and
For sure.
dissension, and that sells.
Especially and it sucks too because they try and connect it to our culture. And there was a couple things they did you pretty good on the interview. I'm not even gonna lie. There was a couple things I was like, man, how you gonna just call him a gringo?
Yeah. The rare
accepted gringo. I'm like, that. Roll your R a little bit, my guy. A little bit. Green, come on, dog. And then the other one, man, when he said we're the self-proclaimed lowrider capital of the world, I was like, buddy, yeah, we are the lowrider capital. We're not self-proclaimed, bro. Not self-proclaimed.
Tread lightly, bro.
Tread lightly, bro. But it was dope to see such a big platform like 60 Minutes. Like you said, that's my dad's
that
shit.
was huge.
That's my dad. My
Yeah.
dad was like, look, we got to see what's going on in the world.
Oh, yeah.
That was like the pinnacle of figuring out exactly what was going on.
Right.
And to see someone from home, right? For one. For two, someone representing the culture in the right way, in a positive light, was, man, it was super dope.
No, definitely a blessing. I say God's opened some doors, ever since 2015 in Santa Fe, the New Mexico History Museum opened, did the whole lowrider exhibit. Man, things changed for the whole, changed everything for the lowrider culture. It got rid of that stigma from the gangbanging, drug dealing to back to the art, family, the culture.
Yep.
And it really changed. And, a lot of us too, growing up, literally changing, just had it with all of that, just the environment changing too. People might represent the neighborhood, but not in the way they used to. It's just, they're proud to be from whatever neighborhood they came from. you know, and you know, it's just a different light. And to be getting that changed everything. And right now, low riding is the most popular it's ever been. You see it on commercials, Super Bowl. I mean, 60 Minutes. I mean,
I saw it in church.
20 years ago, yeah, church at
Saw it
Legacy.
in church?
Yeah,
Hold
Legacy
up.
had a
Yeah.
Legacy got a
logo.
low.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
well,
do they
for
call
the
it?
Christmas special, they
Oh, you
they-
know, yeah. I saw that
What
one.
do they got?
Yeah.
They got a
The green
6.4.
one.
They got a Regal.
No,
they got
it
a
was
Monte. What do they
Monte
got?
Carlo, I think, or a Cutlass. And of course,
Yeah.
it came out for the beginning of the Christmas show. And of course, back to that, the internet. I mean, yeah, don't go to this church if they're doing this. And they just wanted to support all the different cultures, from low riding to, I mean, they, you know, pretty much a little bit of every culture. And of course, still with the message of Jesus, what the whole season really is. But, you know, it's one of those things you see on social media, people, I mean, just bad mouthing the church. And it's like, man, it's one of those things. And that church is one of the fighters here in the city.
I would say, brother, if Yeshua, if Jesus was here right now, he'd probably be in the 6'4", dog. drop top, you know what I'm saying? Just clean, like pearl candy. Woo, I could see him,
With
bruh.
the white flake,
with the white
pearl,
flake.
with some white ghost patterns.
Come on, bro. just for three wheel real quick. Come on. I could see it. Someone needs to paint that,
But
bro.
would he have a mural of himself on there?
Oh!
Or his mom.
Or his mom. No. That's low key hard right there, bro. Virgen on the front. Yeah, see, I mean, it's so different. I swear, like, I would have never in my wildest dreams would have thought a church would bring out a low.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when I got my first one, dog, I was 15, right? And I shouldn't have been able to afford one, but I damn sure could. Okay, 15-year-old out here fucking dropping racks on a
Hustling, yeah.
84 Coupe de Ville Caddy.
What year would that be?
Dog, that was me in 2001.
2001.
2001. I
Yep.
got that Caddy. Cash. Fucker was immaculate, brand new. That's why I said with the white, right? Yeah. Brand new pearl paint job, bro. It was so beautiful and it was so well done that in the morning, right, when I'd go out there to wash it, I couldn't look at it because I would start crying, not from the emotions, right, but from the paint job.
Being so bright.
It was so bright, it brought tears to my eyes, bro.
funny.
And I'm just swanging and banging at 15. But back then, I didn't understand the culture. Like, I did, but I didn't care. There's that. I admit it. I was a fucking shithead. Whatever. I didn't care, right? I wanted
Those
to
were the
hustle.
times, though.
Yeah, I wanted to hustle enough so that way I could throw my caddy on some 13s.
Right.
Swang and bang.
That was everybody, Johnny.
That's all
You
that
gotta
mattered.
You got to think, you know, culture. I mean, now it was a whole different kind of culture then. We were vibing off the videos, vibing off the whatever music was out, and you know, it was really not representing the culture like it should have. I mean, we were all of us in the same boat. I always call it the 85-15. 85% were doing things they shouldn't be doing and living the way they shouldn't be. And 15 might have had a legit job, had a lowrider, worked for the city, worked for the water, whatever it might be. Now it's backwards. You know, you still got
It's flipped on its
it's
head.
flipped 85-15 the other direction.
Which is way better, bro.
good,
Like,
yep.
come on, dog. I ain't got my caddy anymore.
Right?
The stuff that I acquired when I was out there being a diabolical little shithead is gone. Like the material stuff.
Right.
Like, I think that era for me, I gained more wisdom and more knowledge than I did material stuff.
Right.
Because they were just, it was coming and going. Like, I didn't care. Like, I was just like, whatever, we'll get it. I'm gonna be back up next week.
Right.
So it didn't matter. I didn't care about the things that I attained as much, right?
Right.
Versus my truck right now. Shit. I fucking had to work my ass off to get that legally.
Well, you're getting it. You know, that's a lot of things. A lot of my friends that were selling that you got to think, man, whether going to jail, prison, the Lord gave them a gift to hustle, and you can do that in a way where it's not illegal.
For sure.
Man, most of my friends, they're doing really good now, legit, versus back in the day, that's kind of the only way you knew how to get money. You know, it's like if you want something like that, like you say, your car, you would hustle to get it, and a lot of times that hustle was slanging weed or crack or whatever it might be back then. You know what I mean?
Man, I had that crenag, got that crenag. I'm telling you.
That's what. Is that what you were selling? Or
Oh,
what?
dog. Honestly, bro.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. It's too late, though. What do you call it?
The
what is
statute of limitations.
The statute of limitations. Way back.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But see, to what you're saying is, yeah, that was my business model, right? But it was really whatever I could get my hands on, dog. I was good at hustling. I was good at taking 2 and making 4, and making 4 into that 8. It didn't matter what it was.
And look at you
right?
now, doing it legit.
Exactly. And see, but I didn't have the knowledge, the know-how to legitimately make that kind of money at that time.
Hadn't grown up quite mentally.
And
that's all you seen.
I needed, you know what I'm saying? I had a son, I was 16, right? I had a fucking newborn son. I had to make sure all of the electricity and all of the stuff was on. I'm not blaming you, Dom. It's not Dom's fault I was selling connect, but he was one of the reasons, right? So like, I had to make sure that the house was in order. I had to make sure that we didn't get evicted. I had to make sure that we weren't homeless, and I had to make sure that I was taking care of my son, right? And the only way I knew how to do it was like that.
Right.
And I was the best at it. But if I would have known another way, I guarantee that same exact skill set would have worked if I was fucking selling encyclopedias, right? That would have sucked, but it would have still worked.
Right.
Hey, I got this letter E for you. I know you missing the E. This is the E. This is the best E right here. Don't fuck around with the E around the block. Fuck with my E. I'll even give you a discount. You know what I'm saying? Fuck around, you get the E today, right? I'll front you the F. You know what I'm saying? You could come back next week and pay me for the F. I'm telling you, I could have sold encyclopedias.
The sand, the ice.
Yeah, whatever. But back then, especially, you know what I'm saying? I'm 40 now, right? So I'm assuming you and Lowriders are around. You guys are about 10 above
56.
me. Yes, man, you look good for 56,
Thank you,
bro.
brother.
Damn.
Appreciate it.
56. That's the shit, bro.
I'm not 10 years older than you.
Almost. Damn, you gotta.
He got a.
Fuck this
Where did that
thought.
come from?
I said almost.
Not even close.
Okay, a couple.
45.
You round up. Isn't that what they taught you in school? Once you hit the 5, you round up.
I'm gonna round down then.
I'm gonna round down, bro.
When you're young, you want to round up.
Johnny's
Now
rounding
I
you
wanna
up
round
to the
down.
nearest
I
10,
know,
bro.
to the next 10.
Hey, my bad, dog. All right, my bad.
Ready to retire.
Yeah, you retirement age. But like in that era, you know, we seen things different, and we were raised different, and I feel like we had different opportunities.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I seen my door, and I seen my opportunity to make more money than I had ever seen before, so I took it.
Right.
Nowadays, all the youngsters got way more. Like, there's so many different ways they can get the bag now.
Right.
Legit.
Right.
And not just legit, more than we would get when we were out there with the
Bro,
crenag.
look at the streamers, dog.
Streamers are making fucking millions of dollars.
They're making millions of dollars for people to watch them play fucking video games and shit.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
There's so many ways.
Opportunities.
There's so many opportunities,
Yep.
right? And that's, you know, obviously something I want to talk to you about, my brother. So when did you first start painting?
Started painting because I was around it. My grandpa was a painter. Dad did it, you know, on the weekend for extra money. So I was always around it, helping him. I mean, his back, you know, first word was car. 3 years old. I
Damn.
mean, you know, doing little things. And then I would do some of the neighbors' cars, you know, just $250 paint jobs when I was like 12. And fell in love with it. And it was kind of a backup plan, honestly. You know, I really went to go, a lot of people don't know this. I was going to go be a nurse. And this was 18, start at TVI, went to go take the 100 courses or 101. I didn't even make it past those. I mean, started using meth heavy, dropped out of that. That was a fallback, doing body work, bought a compressor, started doing just movidas on the side, and then, went from there, started smoking crack. A little bit after that, got clean a little bit, opened my shop. I was 19 when I opened the shop, and it's been going about 38 years now, 37 years.
Man, bro, make some fucking noise
Yeah,
there,
bro.
Jason.
Make some noise. You got the...
Yeah, man. Got the applause, dude.
They know we got a huge audience right here, right? Oh, yeah, fuck yeah. Stadium applause.
All I gotta do is hit a button and they'll
Hit a button, and everybody falls. Applaud now, right? Yeah, that's a long time,
And it's
bro.
a hard industry. People don't realize, like, I give all these guys that work at the production shops, like you see Car Crafters and all these other shops, man, it's a hard profession. I mean, there's no time to get sick. Like, for what I do, the custom part is a whole different story, but for them, there's no getting sick. You could break your leg and the boss will still be like, you're coming in though, right, today?
coming in.
You know what I mean? It's
You
like
gotta fix
crutches
this
and all.
fender.
You know, it's like literally. And it's like... So it's a hard industry, and here in Albuquerque, people don't want to pay. They've been spoiled for too long, price-wise, you know, even on the custom stuff. I mean, I used to give it away. If you've seen a lot of the jobs I did that were in Lowrider magazine, and I was to show you, I'd be like, I got $2,000 for that. Might have got, you know, traded meth for this one. You know, I mean, you would freak if we pulled them out.
That's
know?
crazy,
You know,
dog.
just I don't even know how. You know, I got my kids. You know, kids are right here. They're all grown up now, of course. But growing up in a meth house, you know, crazy, stealing electricity, stealing water. You know, I mean, just crazy. You know,
That's a story down here for us that's very common,
right?
my brother. Like that's not rare. I think when we tell these stories to people that are like kind of from somewhere else,
Right.
they're like, whoa,
Right.
holy shit.
Yep.
But for us, we're just like, damn, for real, you too?
Yeah.
And to see you kind of flip it, because that's also very rare. I know I could probably count on one hand the amount of my homies that went down that same path that are clean, sober, out here in the streets doing fine.
Right. But very rare.
One hand.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It just doesn't happen, unfortunately. And it's interesting because I say this all the time, right? I'm not down talking going and getting help or AA or any of those programs, because those are beneficial and I think people should utilize those. But the people that I've seen stop and get clean and sober and actually thrive in life finally just said, fuck no, I'm done.
Right.
They reached the moment of I'm fucking
That rock
done,
bottom.
right?
Rock bottom.
And they stopped.
Right.
Like it usually happens out of nowhere. It's like there's no way they're ever gonna stop. Like I'm not even gonna say none of my homies' names, but some of them already know. Bad, bro. Like again, you said stealing electricity, right? In and out of Pinta, bro. In and out, doing fucking wild shit. And to see some of them now that have flipped to the other side, it's wild, bro.
And I got to give all props to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I really do. Me on my own strength, I'm going to stay clean. I'm going to stay clean. I'm going to stay away from, you know, it's my faith. And let me tell you, I'm not perfect. I fall short every day. But without him, for me to stay clean 16 years, it'll be 16 years, the 21st, that I'll be clean from methamphetamine.
That's
You know what I mean?
long. That's actual applause. Yeah,
let's
Yeah.
do that.
That's-
But I got to give props to
That's
this
great,
guy
bro.
upstairs. You know, a lot of people try to do it on their own, and like you say, going to AA and all these things, man. And I know a lot of people higher power. You know, I got to say, it's one of those things. I would not be clean if it wasn't for Jesus and the people that he used that were coming from the gang life, from slanging. Same thing, slanging meth, using meth, coming from gang life. My spiritual fathers, they weren't, the Leave It to Beaver with the suit and tie on. They came from the streets too, gave their life to the Lord. They were an example there for me, invited me to church, or 2 weeks later I did raise my hand, gave my life to the Lord. And it's like, you always got somebody to talk to that you can relate with, that came from that same background, not some Grey Pouponer that's talking to you,
doesn't understand.
not knowing, doesn't understand, hasn't been there. And you can relate with them. It really grabs you. You know what I mean? And it really like shakes you. And then to see my kids too, all the craziness, both me and their mom on meth in the house, tearing up. I mean, just literally trying to kill each other, where the house is just demon infested. I mean, you see like what is a movie where head turns?
Exorcist.
Exorcist. Man, man, I can't tell you the demonic activity that comes along with methamphetamine. You know, they just think you're using and you're just no sleep and you're angry. Man, it's some demonic stuff attached to it.
It's a real low vibration.
Real
Right?
bad.
So when the vibration's that low, it's easy for a bunch of darkness to attach itself to it.
Easy.
Was there like a moment, do you remember looking back saying, you know what, I'm fucking done?
Done. Well, when I got a 3-time convicted felon, when I got sentenced, the last deal lucky I didn't do no time. You know, I got a federal offense, a felon. I got 2 charges for possession of crystal amphetamine, very small amounts. So it wasn't nothing that I would go do time. I thank God, though, that I did get arrested, go to jail, went through the system. Like a lot of people aren't. That's not happening. They're getting a slap on the hand. You see people shooting up in the park. I mean, we used to hide when I did smoke. Man, we'd hide to smoke weed at the park. You know, cops would come and bust your pipe, and you might even go to jail just for weed, whatever. You know, back in the day. Now you see them shooting up. You know, if I wouldn't have went to jail for that and went through the system, and you know, when I got sentenced, I closed my shop. Didn't want nothing to do with the lowrider painting anymore. Moved back in with my parents, which my house had got raided 2 years prior to that. My kids were living at my parents', which you see a lot of people, a lot of grandparents raising, their kids, and moved back in with my parents at 42 years old. You know, and it's one of those things. Even when the first week of getting clean, you always hear about we call them a hank. It's like a paralysis, where you're frozen. You know, a week into being clean, it's like the demons didn't want to let me go. Knew I was getting clean. It's one of those things where you're like froze and you're trying to talk, help me, you know, and you're froze and all you can do is barely a finger can move. And it's like, that's the last time I had one of those, you know, holding me down. And it's just one of those things. It's a demonic drug. And you got to think now with everybody fentanyl plus meth. That was unheard of back in the day. You either did heroin, you did meth, or you didn't do none of those and you just smoked weed and drank, or, you know, whatever it is now, it's mixed fentanyl with the meth. It's like, I can't even comprehend. Zombies walking.
Brother, it's scary.
Yeah,
I got someone really, 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 really close to me that's out there right now, right? Been out there for a while.
Hey, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
And like you said, it's so different. It's so wild to see. Like, we went out there to go clean up. It was like the Keep Litter Out New Mexico campaign, and we went to go pick up some stuff, right? And we were right there on Central, dog, like right there by the state fairground, and they were just blasting right there, like
Right there.
nada. It was
Yep.
wild, bro. Someone fell out, and boop boop. Then they scattered, right? Cops came, threw them in the ambulance, and then they were boom. Right back, dog.
Right.
It's crazy. Like,
Narcan or whatever.
could not
back out.
Shit, they were providing us with Narcan to go pick up trash, bro.
It's crazy.
They're like, take some with you just in case.
Yeah.
And I mean, not luckily, but luckily, I guess my background, like I was raised that way, so like I know exactly how that needs to happen, right? But to see it so out in the open, right? The whole time I was thinking about, again, like I said, I got someone close to me that's out there going through it, and I just it's so hard to see.
But so common now.
So common. It's insane how it's turned into this, like, oh yeah, it happens all the time. Right at the stop sign. Like, my son's 6, right? And he's just so used to seeing it at the stop sign in certain places. Whereas, like you were saying, when we were younger, shit. Fuck, you better run, drop the pipe.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to what the fuck? They'll break the pipe in front of you. Now it's just like, is it so much?
They don't even care.
Like, is there so many of them? Like, what? That's my question, I guess, that I don't fully understand. Is there's so many of them, they can't handle the whole situation? Like, are they just comfortable with, like, okay, yeah, like, kind of, you ever seen the movie, the show The Wire?
Yeah.
You remember whenever they make Amsterdam? And they're like, drugs are legal right here.
Right.
We don't give a fuck what you guys do. Just keep it in the parameters
little box
of San Pedro.
Right, yeah.
Right.
It'd be like the war zone.
It's like the war zone.
It's like literally San Pedro to Wyoming, you're good.
You're good. Anything outside of this, if we see you smoking it, no.
Well, imagine up here if that was happening right here.
Yeah,
in
no,
this
it
area.
wouldn't.
You know, and I grew up in this area. I grew up behind the Harbor Freight, Manal and Wantabo area. And You got to think that wouldn't be happening right here.
No, shit. They
versus
won't even
over
let you
there.
spit on the sidewalk over here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
But, like, imagine, and I think that's what you were getting to, you got out right before it made that crazy ass turn, bro.
Right. Just
because
in
it has
time,
been
Lord.
about 10, like, I remember when it went from crack to shards. I'll
Right.
never forget that
Oh, yeah.
shit. One of the homies pulled up, he's all, bro, hey, check this shit out, dog. Got shards. I'm like, what the fuck is that, dude? He's all, it's crystal meth. I was like the bikers? The fuck you talking about? He's all, nah, bro, this is like super crystal meth. I'm like, what? And he wasn't lying. That shit came through and just boom.
And imagine it's changed already a whole bunch of times.
Since then.
You got to think, when I first started using it was a P2P dope. You got to think that would be 85, 86. That's when it was clean. It would be like the Walter White dope.
Yep.
Pretty clean. I'm not trying to don't please anybody. I'm not trying to advocate any type of drugs. But cleaner, of course, dealers would still be tripping. They'd be like, the locusts are trained by the DEA. They'd come, and then Southwest Airlines would fly, and then you'd be like, the dealer would be coming to bring stuff, and he'd be like, look, they followed me from over there to over there. It's like, that's Southwest Airlines, bro. But,
Yeah.
I mean, clean deal. Then it went to the ephedrine dope, where people, of course, the ephedrine, the red pills, and they're cooking it like that. Then, and I'd been clean for like about 6 years, my first offense. And when it came back, it was the shards. And I was like, what's this? It's like, this is a whole nother world, the shards. And they're like, yeah, they make it with gunpowder and some other thing. To this day, I don't know. This is what you heard in a fish tank and an aquarium. And it's like
I
all this.
had a
You know what I
homie
mean?
that was allegedly walking around. He had the shit in the Gatorade bottle. He's like, bro, I just go walk around all day and I shake this shit and I'll have some fucking long ass crystal shot. I'm like,
crazy.
bro. And he was fucking out of his mind
Yeah.
already.
Oh,
He had
it's
been up for
crazy.
like 4 days. So I'm watching him walk all over the fucking town with a Gatorade bottle, just shaking it around, bro, in his underwear. I'm like, dog, what the fuck is happening, bro? And it was like that. It was like overnight. Homie pulled up and a couple people got their hands on it and poof.
And now imagine now the fentanyl.
Can't even imagine.
Back from crack to the pills, back to that, just the opiate, the pills, whatever, the blues, or no, what was it? The
Hydros, oxys.
all of that.
stuff.
And then that, remember they kind of outlawed it. And so people started using heroin, black tar heroin, if they couldn't score the pills because it's getting hard, to get them. And then now to this. And imagine what's next. You got to think.
I don't want to, dog, because fentanyl already out here for
It's
$1.
in the weed, supposedly. Somebody putting it in the, you know what I mean? I don't even know. It's crazy.
Sometimes it seems like there's just this force.
It's a demonic. It's a spiritual warfare.
It
is
really
what it
feels
is.
like
Really.
there's this
Good against
entity,
bad.
dog, that's on top of it, and it's just trying. Because $1, bro, fentanyl pills for $1. That is fucking diabolical, my dude.
For a bean.
That's crazy, bro.
Somebody came up to me, you got any beans? I'm like, nah, no frijoles
Yeah,
with me.
no, dog, shit, bro.
I do have like a 20-pound bag at home, but
Yeah, not on me, dog. Why would I
on
carry?
me.
I'm not fucking jacking the
A bean.
beanstalk,
I was
bro.
like, what's a bean? It's like the blue pills.
Remember, homie came up to us when we were walking on the street that one time, Ken? Same shit. He's like, bro, you got any? I'm like, dog, shit, bro, what the fuck? We're in Knob Hill. This is crazy. How the fuck you make it all? Yeah, you on the wrong block, dog. This is crazy, right? There's some Starbucks. But it really, like, and it's like over the past 10 years, I think it has been sped up really, really, really fast. Like, I grew up losing people to ODs. Obviously, we all did, especially the people that were in that life. But now it's happened at such a rapid rate.
Right.
I've lost so many people that are like my age
Right.
over accidental shit.
Right.
Like
Too strong,
it was
whatever.
usually accidental, but some of the people, like especially like the first ODs that I seen when I was younger, like, they were fucking up for like 3 days and they were fucking blasting nonstop. So it was bound to happen.
Right.
Right? What I mean is the people that think they're fucking snorting some coke
And it ain't.
and it ain't coke,
Right.
and they don't make it to the next day because of it. I've seen that more now in the past 5 years than in my entire 40 years on this planet.
Right.
And it's fucking just so hard to deal with, dog.
Right.
I'm I'm blessed that I was able to see like my edge. I walked right up to that motherfucker, bro, and I was about to sit down on that shit and just roll off, and I was able to just stop, bro,
The Lord stopped you, man.
and back up. And so many people that I know, you know, family, friends, just they weren't able to, dog. Like we were living the same exact life, doing the same shit, and they're spiraled into a whole different direction.
Well, you
bro.
got to think certain people have, like me, hardcore, what would you call it? What is it called? I'm trying to think, like when I chew gum, I
You
stick
chew it.
30 pieces in my mouth. If I'm going to do something, I'm, you know, you
To
got
the
like,
max.
You go all in
yeah,
or nothing.
all in.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I was drinking, we were going to be taking some shots, no beer. It was going to be crazy. Addictive personality. That's what
Yeah,
I'm looking for.
100%.
And you got to think some people, they can be an alcoholic. They go to work. They're functional alcoholic. They can be able to do their things. Like me, I wasn't that person.
Yeah.
I'd go all out. If I was going to drink, I'd be done the next day. If I was, no matter what I did, even ice cream now, if I'm going to eat ice cream, I sit down with the bucket. It's like, bro, it's one of those things. Yeah. So it's, a lot of people, you have 5 kids, you never know which one of them has that, it'd be like you. Yeah. You knew when to stop. Like something just told you need to stop. And then some people, it's like there's that addictive personality.
There's
they
no
got to
stop.
have it, and they go extra. They go like extra. Versus
my pops was the highest functioning addict I'd ever seen in my life. And again, hammer time, same. And fuck, dog, it's scary because I'm the same way.
Right.
If I'm gonna do something, bro, I'm gonna fucking do something, dog.
To the best of your ability.
We're gonna be up.
Yeah.
We're going, dog. And I think where I was able to make the pivot and the shift is I enjoy being successful and having nice things for my children more than I enjoy fucking off, right?
Right.
So I was able to flip that addictive personality into something more positive, right? And it's not easy. Right? It's not like, hey, just flip the switch and here we go, your life's on track, because it's not. But if you can flip it, right, and you can put that addictive personality towards something that's good, that can actually provide for your family, right? Which is, I guarantee, part of why you're such a bad motherfucker on the cars, my dude.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate that.
I guarantee your addictive personality, even though it can take you down that path all the way, right? I guarantee God gave you that ability, and it's up to you to use it how you choose to use it.
Right.
You using it on the cars, man, bro, I was looking at some of your work. Holy shit.
Well, I appreciate it, my brother.
Like, I grew up looking at the Lowrider magazine, bro. I had Playboy and Lowrider. Those were my go-tos, right? And the cars in that I would just dream, like, man, one day, motherfucker, let me tell you right now, one day. And the work and the paint jobs, like, it's just such a vital piece to the final part of the car.
It's the personality.
It 100%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yep. And it's an art piece, like say a paint job, to me, and when I fell in love doing the Lowriders, you got to think I was able to express myself. It's an art piece. Every car was a different piece of art. And at first, too, those first like 6 years, each one I tried to do, if I had patterns going this way, the next one I would have them doing this, and the next one doing this, to where each one had its own personality. And a lot of that, too, a lot of people, well, I didn't really like that one or this one, but yeah, I love this one, that. I just tried to be different and tried to give each one to where it was a rolling piece of art. You got to think, because that is, like my own personal car. I got purple rims with purple top with all kinds of different colors. One side of the car is blue with violets and magentas, and you drive down the street on the driver's side, it's oranges, reds. It's a whole nother paint job on the other side. So you got to think it's an extension of your personality. And me, all those years on meth, Like I say, I wasn't in the party circle. Everybody called it the meth circle. It was me, the meth, the tape that I taped the patterns with, and the car. And I would stay, 5 days, 7 days, no sleep, just constantly taping on a car.
You probably
doing
did some
artwork,
wild ass
you know,
pieces.
where I just keep adding. When you're on meth, you're like, I know some, I'm going to add here, and to be blessed to get Lowrider car of the, best of show and things like that, best paint, and it's like adding and adding stuff where it's like I tell people in all reality, Lowrider should take back a lot of those words because I was doping, kind of like that. I'm being sarcastic, being funny, but like what is that, Lance Armstrong?
They were on steroids.
Yeah, on steroids. It's like, how can you compete against somebody working 156 hours a week against somebody that's working 40 or 50?
You were like on HGH, dog.
Yeah,
you were like
exactly.
fucking Mark McGuire, remember? With all the home runs. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take them home runs back, dog. This fool was on HGH.
Yeah, exactly.
Serious, he ain't even playing, bro. Like, some of my homies that are artistic like that, they'd fucking be up forever, bro. And they'd get like a notebook or something. They'd fill that shit up with the craziest shit I ever seen in my entire life. But in their sober, it's like, damn, I already forgot how to spell my name.
Yes, that's because the dopamine ain't flowing anymore. It's like dry, like a desert. You know what I mean?
No endorphins.
No endorphins.
Just fucking sitting there all dried up. That's wild. So, what was like your first piece that you remember that you're like, oh, yup, I could fucking do this?
It'd probably be like the Dazzler. It would be centerfold to Lowrider back in 94, 95. And
That's a bit, not to interrupt you, but audience that doesn't know, that's a big fucking deal. 94, 95 Lowrider magazine, that's like, listen, how would I equate it? Okay, that would be like Pamela Anderson in Playboy in 95. It's the same equivalent. That's a big deal.
Yeah, the pull-out poster of my work,
Damn.
the Budweiser of the month. I look back, my daughter's been doing a timeline, and she's been everything that I've been in. And, I always used to, like, I tell people I've been in there like 30-something times in Lowrider, and she said, man, Dad, you have like 47 just in Lowrider magazine centerfolds, different things in there. Which, man, I'm real humble about it, but man, it's one of those things. It was some rough times, you know what I mean? A lot of rough time. Like I say, the majority of the work in there, I wasn't there for my family. Why I was like, I tell people the top of my game in that world, but home life, stealing electricity at the same time you got a centerfold. Literally, I'm telling you, to have that, like you say, Pamela Anderson, pull out centerfold, Budweiser of the month, but at home no electricity or running water, you got to think there's something going on there that's that addiction.
For sure.
But then at the same time, in my addiction, I was still trying to be the best of the best and like trying to be the number one, every detail. I mean, super clean, color, sound, and buff, door jams. I mean, all this stuff, But on the other hand, life was crazy at home life. You know what I mean?
It's
Go home and beat my kids because they spill water. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
It's really interesting how us as artists, when things are like in turmoil, you hear people all the time like, oh man, I wish he would sound like his old self.
Right.
I wish he would paint like he used to paint.
Yeah, no.
Or
That's a
I
good
wish
one right
I
there.
wish he would do the things that he used to do.
Right.
Not knowing that when you were using that as your platform to express yourself,
Right.
everything else was so fucked up.
Right. People don't realize.
Everything else was so fucked up. Some of the best art comes from the darkest places.
Yeah.
Which is it's such a fucking catch-22.
Roses growing in the gutter. You know what I mean?
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild. And at least you were blessed enough to have an outlet like that.
Right.
To like kind of pivot some of your addictions towards that, right? Not that it made anything
Versus
easier
out
at all.
stealing and breaking into
Exactly.
cars and all kinds of stuff.
I look at some people that aren't artists like we are, and they don't have like that outlet. Whew, man, I don't know what the fuck I would do without have the artistic outlet.
Right.
I would be way worse than I couldn't even imagine it.
Right.
So the ability to take something so tragic, right, and express it into something so beautiful, it just shocks me. Like every time I see it or I hear stories like that, it always comes from the darkest places,
Right.
bro.
And of course, when I did get clean, though, a lot of people were like, Rob ain't gonna be able to do what he, what he did when he was using and all. So it pushed me even farther. And I would pray. I'd be like, Lord. And Bo Montano down here at Willalina too, where I met my spiritual father. I didn't even want to paint again. His son had just died from a heroin overdose, a needle in his arm, in his car, in a Magnum. He asked me, this would be about 2 months into me getting clean, living at my parents, just down the road from here, down Morris, and he said, hey, I want you to do a tribute to my son on his car, and I don't do murals, nothing like that. I do patterns, but I put flames on it, and I cut out, his rosary beads and some of his tattoos. I cut out and kind of did some work on it. He said, you know what? I want to give you the back garage to work out of. It's safe here. You're surrounded around some brothers. And Bo, he looks like Bautista. He used to sponsor like Diego Sanchez. It's a lot of people. A lot of the UFC would go through there through the mechanic shop over there. And he said, you got this back garage to work out of. You're surrounded around good people that are here to watch over you. And like I say, that first couple months painting, I would just pray and I'd be like, Lord, and I'd spend a month just taping, doing patterns, and I'd be through it, and I'd give him glory. I'd be like, thank you, Lord, for me being able to do this, whether I'm clean, whether I'm meth, and being able to shine. And like I say, all the doubters that would doubt, and they'd be like, he ain't gonna be able to do this. And it's one of those things. I just, I had to prove, and only through his strength that I could actually do it. It's one of those things. So it's, I give him glory for that.
And I think a lot of people don't notice, like when you're praying for something like that, or you're asking for something like that, or you're trying to walk towards that path, some people don't notice what's right in front of them. Like you might not have noticed that you had the homies that were willing to say, hey bro, like we're here, like we're going to help you flourish. It always reminds me of that one story where the guy, dies, he's in the ocean and he drowns, right? And he gets to heaven and he tells God, he's like, I was praying to you, bro. Like, what's up? And he's there in the ocean, and he's praying to God, and here comes a ship, and the ship comes through. He's like, hey, bro, I'm here to rescue you. He's like, no, God's gonna save me. God's gonna save me. He's like, all right, bro. And another ship goes by, right? He's in there. It's like, come on, no, God's gonna save me. God's gonna save me, right? And he drowns. He gets to heaven, and he's like, God, I was praying to you. Why didn't you save me? He's like, I sent you 3 ships.
Yeah, you didn't.
You didn't get on the ships, right?
Right.
I think a lot of people think, whether they're spiritual, religious, whatever, I think they think manifestation, prayer, I'm going to put this out there and it's going to just happen for me. That's not how it happens at all.
Right.
The universe, God rewards action.
Right.
You have to obviously put that out there. That's the direction that you want to go. But you can't just sit there and fester in the same fucking situation that you're in and expect a miracle.
Johnny, that would be like sitting on the couch. The Lord's going to bring me a job. But you're on your couch and it's like, have you went and filled out any applications? Have you went out and actually tried? No, but I know it's going to literally like fall.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to go out. You got to go do your part. It's like I can't tell you how many people. I know the Lord's going to bring me a job. They haven't moved from the couch once.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
And I think
what you're saying, that same example.
A lot of people don't recognize that. That's why when like you hear someone's story, of like beating addiction or getting on the other side of it, there's a lot of stories about faith, right? There's a lot of stories of I started praying, with whatever religion or whatever, denominate, whatever you believe in, whatever it is, right? A higher power. When you kind of like succumb to the fact that you're a part of the river, so it kind of makes you the entire river.
Got to do your part.
Then things start flowing a little differently, right? Things start feeling a little different. They start moving at a different pace. But if you don't like see that and you don't succumb to that and you don't realize that, it sounds like mumbo jumbo to some people.
Right.
It sounds like woo woo, new age, hippy dippy type of shit.
Call it Christianese in the spiritual world. You know what I mean?
They just don't get it. And I'm not saying one religion has it right or one spiritual direction is the way. Because I've seen people choose different paths from different religions, but end up in the same place, better than they were before.
Right.
And I don't think, I got homies that are, I'm talking Potter House Christian. And I have homies that
That's
are
hardcore.
hardcore atheist on opposite, like complete opposite ends of the spectrum. And it's interesting because I always say this, they're like the same in a way, right? Like the evangelists are like, it's my way. Listen, this is the answer. No matter what, there's no other answer. And the atheists are the exact same way on that side, right? This is my way. This is the only answer. And I'm like, bro, you guys are the same person. What are you arguing about? Meet in the middle somewhere because you guys have the same energy, but for both sides. And I always say this, I bring that up because one time they were in a fight. They were arguing with each other, right? And I'm like, look at these fucking idiots arguing the same thing just on opposite ends. And my homie ended it with, it's all good, bro, I'm gonna pray for you. And the other dude was like, don't pray for me. Just like, I'm like, whoa, bro. I told him, okay, all right. You're Mr. Scientist, man, right? You believe in energy? Okay. What's prayer? Sorry, someone saying good things for me? All right, dog. You don't want him to put good energy out there in the field for you specifically. You believe in energy, and energy doesn't die, right? You don't want him putting specific positive energy out there in the world specifically for you just because you're an atheist. You're fucking ridiculous. That's absolutely bonkers, bro, because they believe in it, but if it comes in a religious bow, if it's tied up in a religious book, then they can't hear it at all.
Yeah, it's a hard one with the atheists. You got to think, that's like they believe really in nothing, but then you see all the evil out here. You see the good, you see the evil, and to believe in absolutely nothing, it blows my mind. And like I say, I would rather, me personally, I see on a daily basis, and I'm an example. Like I tell people, if I can get clean, you can get clean. I'm an example of what the Lord can do. And of course it does, like you say, it does take doing your part. But I would rather, when I die, I know where I'm going. I would rather surrender my life versus it's like, I don't really know if he's real, if he's not, or this, or Buddha, or this and that. And of course, my religion, Jesus Christ is the only way. That's me. That's the only way. People can sit there and argue it, and they say, our way is the only way, this is the way, is the only way. I truly believe that through Jesus Christ, that's the only way. And I surrender my life, so when I die, I know where I'm going. If somebody wants to take a chance, and back to that, most of us, it is through hitting rock bottom. And you see a lot of people out here, sometimes what is rock bottom? To me, it's like, I think it's right there. They be digging a hole. They're like 30 feet down. You're like, when is this going to be rock bottom for somebody? It's like, when is this going to be rock bottom? And you see, they're just walking, it's one of those things. But like I say, if I can get clean, if people seen how bad I was, and a lot of people knew, it's like, Rob's clean when I did first get clean. And then I had to show consistency. It's one of those things. A lot of people get clean for a year and then they back rehab. And then they're, people are like, he's already been trying this for 10 years. Yeah. Man, it's like, one of those things, staying consistent, back to that. You might fall, get yourself back up, but it's one of those things. It's like, if people were like, man, I remember Rob, he was bad. I mean, he was bad. And it's like, it's just being an example, and it's being a positive thing out here on the street, just like you, from whatever you came from. Now you got a whole different thing going on that you had before, back to that slanging and whatever else you're doing. And now you're earning a living legit.
Completely different.
It's one of those things. It's being that example. Man, if I can do it, you can do it. That's one of my sayings,
And I think, that back to with that situation, I don't see, with whatever you believe in, right? You're a prime example of having faith in something outside of just yourself.
Right.
Having that faith took you from 30 feet in a hole,
right,
to now look, right? 16 years. That's like I said, when we first sat down, that is an accomplishment that I can probably count on one hand,
right,
of people that I know were that bad can say I've been sober that long.
Right.
So with whatever you believe in, bro, how could you look at somebody sideways if the fact that they had faith in something other than themselves, bigger than themselves,
Right.
got them on? That's a testament to it being something.
Right.
That's the way I look at it, right? Because they always want to, look at things, okay, facts and scientific and all that stuff, right? They want to look at it. So I try and look at both sides, okay? I try and look at both sides. You just can't get me to believe there's nothing, dog.
Right.
I've seen it.
That a rock hit, a Big Bang Theory
I've
hit,
seen it.
all of a sudden a speaker was made and all this stuff was made.
It's tangible, dog. It's all intertwined with
Right.
each other. It's all so interconnected and all so perfectly precise that you can't get me to in my logical brain, right? I'm not talking religious or spiritual or anything. If I just put on my Bill Nye the Science Guy hat and I look at it like that, I'm sorry, bro. Like I can't. You can't explain me the chicken or the egg theory, right?
Right.
You can't make me think that it's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's too perfect. It's too precise. It's too mathematic. It'd be like saying someone accidentally created Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto was an accident. No, it was a bunch of people sitting around putting it together with numbers, and it took work, right? And if you look at the world and the universe and creation, I'm sorry, Doug. I'm sorry. What do you think, Leonard? An accident?
No, it's not an accident. I think most people who are atheists, though, rebel against the idea of there not being an intercessor. I think people really get tied up into the help that they think they deserve or they think that they need, and they forget that the helping hand they're looking for is at the end of their arm. And I think people get frustrated with circumstances and see that they need, more, and they don't want to pray to a ghost. They want something tangible, someone physical who will say, I'll help you, I'll be there. And it's just like you guys were talking about every time that's coming from other people, but you have to be willing to recognize that God power is coming through other people versus it just being some phantasm coming in through your window. You know what I'm saying? To save you.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
That's a good way to put it.
It always does come in the form of a help from another person, another connection, whether it's the brothers that said, hey, use my garage, right?
Right.
When I went down, my dude, there was 5 people on that path, right? Never, and I've said this before, no one's ever running on that path when I went down that morning, dog, and out of nowhere, 5, instantly, boom.
Imagine.
They're there. It always comes in that shape or form. And again, like I said, I was raised Catholic, right? I'm not religious. I don't consider myself Catholic. I don't consider myself religious anymore like that. But do I believe in something outside of myself? 100%. I would feel like I'd be doing myself a disservice and the people around me if I tried to act like I didn't see the connections.
Right.
If I didn't see the blessings that have come my direction when I let go.
Right.
Right? And I went with the river. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to like be a stone there and just sit there, sometimes you just got to let go, dog. And you have to have that faith.
Right.
In whatever it is, whatever you choose to have the faith in, right? Music, in poetry, in painting, in any art form, in your children, in your family. Have faith, bro, in something outside of yourself. And watch, bro. Watch the decks. All of a sudden, oh, you needed a king? Boom, there's 3 of them. Mm-hmm. It's wild. When you put that out there, like sometimes like, I'm like, how's this going to work out? I have no idea how this is going to work out. And I'm constantly thinking about like, where are we going to get the funds? Like, how am I going to move this over there? And then all of a sudden, oh shit. And then, then all the pieces start falling again. It's too intertwined, bro. And stories like yours, whether you're religious or spiritual or not, it's hard to just ignore the fact that you put your faith in something outside of yourself, right? Bigger than you, and look where it has taken you.
Amen.
It's hard to ignore those type of things. And again, this is coming from somebody that I'm not religious. I'm not. I used to be. My parents were, like, I was raised that way, and it was there, but I've seen enough to know that I don't know shit. I've seen enough to know that I don't know shit, right? So now, bro, you've been clean 16 years. You're like fucking 60 Minutes said, you're the accepted gringo. You know what I'm saying?
The taquitos.
Yeah, with the taquitos, the accepted gringo. What have you, like, where are you now, bro? Like, what have you done since then? Where's your mindset? Like, how do you feel the culture shaping, and where do you feel like your position in it is?
Man, let me tell you, Johnny, right now, just so many doors have opened up. Bring it back to that 2015, the New Mexico History Museum. Museums that are accepting lowrider art now that never would have in the past. Me and Max and a whole team of us, we won the installation at the airport. So let me tell you that was 2 years going through like 200 and something entries to make it to the top 17, to make it to the final 5, to win it. We're going to have literally a full-size Cessna lowrider airplane in the airport at the T-connector.
What?
We're 6 other 3D printed 18-foot lowrider shaped airplanes looking like a bomba.
That's crazy.
With the air conditioning, with the Daytons, with the booty kit, with the visors, all flaked out, candied out in there permanently, hanging in the T-connector. You got to think it'd be like hanging from this roof, 18 foot, 36 foot. That'll be the biggest thing we're doing. That contract's pretty much almost done, ready to start. We'll be doing that. And then me and the kids and the whole team, we just got through with the Route 66 statue. It'll be 10 foot tall. It's the Route 66, the shield, the 2 6s. It's going up in front of the Unser garage up on Unser and Central.
Yep.
It'll be up there as well, like in the next couple months to complete like their remix Route 66.
Yeah.
So, a whole bunch of different things opening up. The Lowrider Bike After School program. I'm the program coordinator for the city for that. And that's probably the biggest things. We have almost 80 kids now on Tuesday and Wednesday. And of course, like Kenny's a part of it,
That's so dope. Are you
is
like
dope.
teaching them how to paint their bikes?
Yeah,
You're
teaching
them
them
how
how
to
to
like build them. Whole thing.
Tear down lowrider bikes, how to sand them, how to fabricate, cut, weld, lowrider patterns. They'll be doing lowrider skateboards this year. We're trying to teach them a bunch of other skills too. So we're having career pathways. Somebody that will come and talk, every week for like 15 minutes, depending. It could be from a plumber to social media, to photography, to owning, towing business, to anything related, that these kids can plug into. Music, we're going to try to get a few of them brought guitars, so we're going to try to hand cut, custom make some guitars, instead of doing.
Cool.
So just trying to, teach the kids how to use these things, because even my phone usually I'll duct tape it to my head to show an example.
Yeah.
The kids, they're on their phones constantly. And to use these things is crazy. What are these? I thought they're just made to do this or this. You know what I mean?
It sounds like it's like a trade school on steroids.
It is.
that's
and
cool,
it's
bro.
geared towards our culture, to where it's, you got to think of lowrider. This ain't Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. You know what I
No.
mean? This ain't Indian Guides. This is literally, lowrider leadership after school program, teaching them. And like I said, the bike is just a tool. The bike is literally a tool just to get the kids in. A lot of my mentors have a history, same thing, went down the wrong path, made it out. We got even APD, a couple APD officers come, mentor. We got sheriff, we got Corrales PD. So it's like, even the kids at first, they're like, the police are going to be here. And they're like, are you the ones that took my mom and dad to jail? And 3 weeks later, everybody, they get to learn back to that. There's bad in I don't care if it's police, lowrider community, what it is. There's always going to be a bad,
a balance.
apple.
There's both.
Yeah, and
there's both.
There's always good. So, we're really trying to just bridge the gap, change the outlook of these kids, point them. I always say we want to point you in the right direction versus the left. And, it's just, you got to think this opportunity is amazing. We're up at the Westgate Community Center, the old one. This is our 4th year. First year we had 8 students from 8 to 22 to we had 58 last year, and now literally I think 78 students this year, 2 days a week.
Crazy.
Yeah, and mainly females. Let me tell you,
Really?
65% are females, and it's middle school to high school.
Man, what I would have given for an opportunity like that when I was
100%.
that age. Like I said, like there's so. Say what you will about this thing, right? I fucking hate it too in the same way. That created so much more opportunity for people that would never even like see
Right.
it, right? And then again, not even just that, right? Fuck that. It comes from people like us too that went through that type of shit and were like, oh, you know what? If only I had someone that said, nah, this way, dog.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
help.
no. Go over here,
Right.
bro. If only I had like one or two people like that, I could have saved myself. Who knows? Who knows where I'd be now,
Right.
Who knows how more advanced or how further on in life I would be if I had an opportunity that early.
Right.
Especially, down here, dog. Like, and
We
the
need
fact that I like that you said that it kind of goes back to you being able to relate to the people that helped you.
Right.
Because I used to work at a community center out in Grants as the Future Foundations, right? And there'd be kids down there that were going through the same type of shit that I went through when I was a kid. And none of the workers, they wouldn't listen to none of them. They'd wow the fuck out, right?
Right.
The workers just couldn't understand how to get through to them, right?
Right.
I'm like, y'all get the fuck out of here. Get over here. Come on, let's go. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Let's go
Right.
play some basketball. Because we could relate on
Right.
a level that other people couldn't relate to them. So I was able to get through. So when they see someone like you comes from the same streets that they went through, maybe going through some of the same shit that their moms and pops went
Right.
through, they're like, oh, he gets it. And he's a part of our culture. He's not trying to have me, I don't know, fucking 3D print a fucking helicopter, right? I understand this. My
Right.
brother had a lowrider, or I see this. This is something that is in my neighborhood and in my community, so it's able, like, it sticks.
Right. And they might connect not with me. It might be somebody else, like my daughter or someone, my son or one of the other mentors. And we have a few female mentors that come too. And let me tell you, I mean, it's like back to that. It's connecting. They're connecting of who they can relate with, and and we have a lot of them come in with their hoodies on, super quiet. 4 weeks later, hoodies off. They're starting to talk a little bit, because you got to think people now. And back to the phone too, man. I got to say my attention spans on a 3 second or 2 second. 1, 2,
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, and you got to think, they come in. Their whole attitude changes, and it just opens up a whole nother thing. Because you got to think, a lot of kids are at home, their phones, social media. Nobody's conversating no more.
No.
There ain't really friends like it used to be. Let's go do something. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's more like communication on the phone.
Yeah.
And the whole world's right here on this phone. This gets them out of that for 2 hours, a week, and it's a game changer. We like I say, to see some of these kids, I'll break down crying. We'll have like 4 talk for graduation at the end of the year. The graduation is at the end of the year, right before the Lowrider show. The kids will show their bike at the Lowrider show June 2nd.
That's so dope.
And they'll break down what the class meant to them. And it's telling you, bro, literally I'll be tearing up. Like what these kids say, what this class means, and what it's done for them, and it just blows my mind. So, and it's a huge part. It takes a community. I got like 20 something mentors. On top of the police that come, and like I say, my daughter's the admin for it. It's just a blessing, and it's through the city. It's.
I was just about to ask you how, like, if the kids see this and they want to be a part of it, how do they go about doing that?
A waiting list right now, because it is so that we probably have 100 and something people waiting list.
Wow.
So they'll have to contact us, get a hold of my daughter. She can get them on the waiting list, and we go from there. And we want to try to grow it other places, but it takes it. It takes quite a bit to run it. It's logistics, having all the lowrider. It's like if you've seen it, people just think like, it's for us to have to, base and flake and clear 30 something bikes in a month and have them ready to start throwing patterns. It's like, it's a lot of stuff. We have a blow-up paint booth that we put over there. I mean, a whole welders, a bunch. You know, we don't have the most fanciest stuff, but it's we get by.
I was just about to say that's
yeah.
a lot of
It is.
work,
It's
bro.
a lot of logistics. I mean, like it's a difficult, like I tell people to
and
have
to be teaching it at the same time.
yeah. So even this, so when we start back Tuesday again after we've been on Christmas break. When we start back, this is when they actually get their bike, whether they're getting a skateboard, which a lowrider skate will be cutting out the wheels and flipping them, you know, to where the trucks are the opposite way to where they're slammed. Kids will get to do that first that are new students. Returning students get to take their bikes, start cutting them up, fabricating. Some have like, you know, everyone comes up with a different theme for their bike. You know, some have like spider webs with the spider coming down welded on it. I mean, we got all kinds of different personalities, you know, and each kid paint-wise too, same thing. And I think we have like probably about 8 seniors. The seniors will be the ones showing at the Lowrider show this year and a few others. So
It's so
great,
wild, dog, to think of the opportunities that you've brought to the community for these kids, right? Through the way you express your art, through the lowrider culture. Like, there's so many like pieces that like go back. Like, it's wild to me that the lowrider culture, something that people look at as simple as what did it say on the 60 Minutes interview? It's a car that's low to the ground.
right.
It's a car that's low to the ground, got painted by a gringo, right? No disrespect.
Let's
60
Google
Minutes.
the definition
Yeah.
of a low. You know,
Lowrider, Google it real quick. Say, hey Siri, don't do it. You should go off.
Yeah, don't do that. Mine's gonna go out.
Yeah, it's probably is. But to think that like that facet of our culture, the jobs it's provided, the community it's provided, like it's crazy. And a lot of people don't even know this, like about me specifically. I got my first big opportunity. My first big tour was on the Lowrider tour, bro. I was at bro, we were in Pueblo, we were in Vegas, we were at the Super Show, we were down. That was my first actual legit opportunity to show the world my art and showcase my music came through the Lowrider tour, bro.
Right.
So we were there, all the bikes were there, bro. We were taking pictures with all the Lowrider girls. I was on stage in front of like 10,000 people. I went from performing in front of 5 people to 10,000 people.
right.
Off of the Lowrider tour, bro.
Getting your foot in the door, using that to.
It opened the door to
Right.
a bunch of other shit,
Right.
right? That's how I met so many different like artists and so many different people, and that's how I started getting my name out, right? Was through that place, through Lowriders. It blows my mind. That's why whenever Ken was like, "Oh, you got to sit down with Rob," I said, I was like, "Let's fucking go!" Like, it's wild to see something as simple as fabricating a car, right, or painting a car, or building a car, or accepting and being a part of the culture, right? You know what I'm saying? Throwing that shit on some 13s, you know.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
you ain't got no hydraulics on it. You just slam that shit, right?
Yep.
Gotta turn out sideways to drive out of your back. You're fucking. My son. The other day, my son was. We had everybody in his car, right? And he's never had a lowrider. And I haven't had a lowrider in years, right? Which I'm gonna fix that soon. I promise.
Yeah.
So we're in his car and we're in my driveway, and his brother's in the back, and I'm driving. So we go out, and the car scrapes, right? And I was like, instantly, I told him, now you got to turn it on the way out. And he like looked at me. I'm like, yeah, if you turn it, you angle it, you can get. So we was crawling down those. You know what I mean? I never scraped, dog. I'd go over a fucking speed bump. Cherry, no scrape.
Did you have the curb
Yeah,
feelers on
some
too?
people. I
No
mean,
curve fillers.
they had
No.
a science to that, you know. And then some of them don't even care, bouncing.
Just
Like,
hit it,
I'll
bam.
scrape my kids. They'll be like, "Man, Dad," and I'm like, "It's all good." Like it'd be coming out all these parking lots.
Never, dog. Now I didn't even have the curb fillers, bro.
No.
I'd pull
No
and I had-
whiskers on there?
The
Nah,
curb
bro.
fillers.
I had center gold fucking D's, right? Center gold.
And
And
what
I
year
didn't
did
scrape
you-
them. I had an 84.
Yeah,
84
nice.
Coupe de Ville.
Coupe de
Bro, and
Ville.
the inside was maroon. Man, I got a picture of my son right there sitting there switching the camera. He's like one sitting on top of it. Right, I took a picture with it was a disposable camera. I had to go take back to Walgreens or Walmart to have it printed. Right, but like that aspect of our culture, which to some people, you know, is insignificant. Like I watched Breaking Bad and the way the mom talks to each other. He's in a jumping car. Like this, you're in a fucking car that hops. Like to some people, they look at it that way, right?
Right.
And whatever, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I look at your casseroles weird too, but whatever.
Well,
Not everything needs to be a casserole.
Well, in a lot of movies, and they'll portray that the bad guys, the robbers, are going to pull up in the lowrider. You know what I mean? Where it's like, we need to get out of that. I mean, that's been a part of it, and I'm not going to try to change any history on anything like that. But, you know, that ain't true really anymore for the most part. There might be still, let's say we have 20 people, one might go rob something in a lowrider, but then the rest, the 20 have legit jobs and are, you know, actual productive person out
For sure.
in society. And Hollywood will always portray our culture as something bad. Oh, here comes the bad, you know.
Oh, for sure.
Boy, you know,
He's in a lowrider.
Yeah.
His
better watch
last
out,
name's
scary,
Myers.
like Chucky or
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger's coming
He's
down the road
probably
or
gonna
something.
stab his teacher.
Yeah.
What's
you know?
up, Mr. Wilson? What's
Yeah,
up, dog?
exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah, no, and that needs to, you know, that's one of those things we need to, and it's us being an example out, you know, like I was watching some of your, you know, them, it's a Channel 13. You went out for a ride in Joe's.
Oh yeah,
you know,
bro.
Joe's, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
And, shout out. Was it Channel 4?
And even you know, like Lorenzo House. You know, I see him behind there. You know, awesome example. You know, it's back to us in the community trying to be a good example. Are we going to be perfect? No. Are we going to fall short? Yes. And if there is a brother that maybe falls short, that we go pick him up in a good way. And you get what I mean, pick him up, like maybe encourage him in the right way instead of you know, versus being out and trying to be a shining light in the city, which we need more and more. Just 100. Like you know, your whole purpose even too, you know, trying to raise money for Rio Doso when the fires happened.
Yeah.
You know, it's back to that turning something. We would have never thought that way in the past. We were all about ourselves.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I have my moments where me. But, you know, it's things like that where you're going out trying to make a difference, trying to raise money for something, that tragic event happened, you know.
Because it's us.
Yeah.
Like, I've built something, right? And people already know that I don't like the word influencer, but I've accepted it because I do have, my voice carries more weight than I ever thought or intended it to.
Boom. So how are you influencing?
How am I using it? Right? What am I gonna do? Am I just gonna sit here and be like, fucking buy all my clothes? Like, right? Like, or am I gonna use it to do something that I can actually benefit with people paying attention? Right? Like we fell like fucking 10,000 short from the 100,000 mark over there in Rio Doso in like a week, bro. It's crazy.
That's still great.
You scored
bro.
If you fell 10,000, you got a 90.
We got a 90.
That's an
That's
A.
a passing grade. Dog.
That's a passing beyond passing.
Listen,
passing to me was D minus.
Hey, dog. We still out this bitch. We out the class.
59.99.
And you know,
60.
showing like having that. Okay, I'm glad you brought up the big homie House, bro. Shout out man. I've known House since I was a little mocoso running around out here. You know what I'm saying? House knows it. House probably watching this. House, you remember Grim, right? You remember Gremlin running around like a little fucking tonto? He remembers. She knows, right? And he was always there to provide some sort of guidance.
Exactly.
Not like some of my other OGs were like, yeah, shit, you know what I'm saying? Go flip that shit.
Yeah, it's
you know,
the
double
opposite.
that shit
yeah,
up.
opposite. No, bro.
House was like, nah,
no,
dog,
let's get you going.
You get on this show, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it was House, right? And the big homie Joe D. Right? They were always together. They were always doing the Lowrider stuff together. And and it was always positive, right? It was always on a like, nah, we got to big each other up.
Right.
We got to show each other how to do this and not gatekeep it. You feel what I'm saying? Like the big homie Joe D, I've said this before too. He could have gate kept the whole game, dog. He was printing shirts and printing clothes and doing all that stuff. And all the rappers down here were like, hey, we got to go, you know what I'm saying? We're going to go to Joe D. He had his cutthroat line, you know what I'm saying? And again, this was back at the time when him and the big homie House were always together. So Jody seen that I was making some waves and I was like, hey, dog, you know what I'm saying? You could print me some shirts. He's like, nah, bro, fuck that. I'm going to show you how to do it. And even that, fuck that. Go with me to El Paso. I'll introduce you to my plug so you can get the shirts for cheaper. Joe could have said, all right, dog, I'll print them for you. Yeah. And he could have charged me a finder's fee. Yeah. He could have charged me whatever the fuck he wanted to charge me, right? But he let me hop in the whip with him, go down to El Paso, plug me in with his plug directly so I could go over there and get all the shirts that I wanted to, no matter what, at his cost.
Right.
And then come back and learn how to do that shit myself. Or even if I don't want to do that shit myself, he would still burn my screens. He had them in his living room, dog. He'd be sitting up there. He printed the first Merciless shirts.
That's that whole not gatekeeping, like
Not
you say.
gatekeeping.
And that's like we'd be doing too, you know, back in the day, even just the whole people come to me for advice. Of course, when I first started too, there was no YouTube. So it's like I didn't know how to do it, so I'd just pull out Lowrider magazines, whatever I liked, and I'd try to duplicate it. I'd have to learn, trial, error, mistakes, waste paint. I mean, we could go on and on. And then, of course, when I did start figuring out, people would come to me, and I'd be like, no, you need to go figure that out.
Yeah, because I had to do it myself.
Yeah, I mean, I was bad. I was real bad. And, of course, now we be teaching, you know, we've started doing classes 5 years ago. We have people fly in. The class we did 4 months ago here, we had people flying from New York, Cleveland, Florida, Wyoming, everywhere to come learn. All creeds, colors, trying to teach them how to do this, you know, to where we can keep the culture going. And, you know, it's one of those things. It's like you could either be like, you know, it is back to that, be a hater and not encourage your brother on. And, of course, there's friendly competition. You know, there's a lot of things. You know, there's a lot of, you know, stuff going on here in the city right now. You know, people are trying to sell the same things. And, you know, there's a lot of hate going on, you know, where it's like, you know, people need to get together. It's like, okay, if we're going to sell something, let's sell it at this price.
Right.
You know, if they want to go to you, they go to you. If they want to go to him, they'll go to him. It'd be like paintwork too. They want to go to Rob. They want to go to somebody else. You know, like we sell paint materials now too. Everything it takes to do a lowrider or any stock car. If they come to me, they're going to come to me. If they want to go to another place, they go to another place. There's plenty of business for everybody here.
I agree with you.
It keeps growing.
And I'm 100% on that same boat. Like, you got to come together, but you got to establish a foundation, right? You can't just undercut everybody and drop the bottom out of the market and fuck it up for everybody.
No.
Right? Like, I seen it happen really, really bad with a lot of my videography homies, right?
Oh, yeah.
That shoot, like, music videos and shit, right? When I first started shooting music videos, that shit, the cheapest one I could get was $1,000, right? And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, we're going to be on MTV. Let's go. Let's get it. I got me a motherfucking music video, right? And that's a thou. And that was a good fucking deal. Then it went to 9.
Oh, yeah.
Then it went to 8.
500.
Dog, that shit dropped all the way down to like $400.
Right, yeah.
Like, that shit blew. The homie's like, hey, you want to shoot another music video? I'm like, shit, not for fucking $1,000, I'll tell you that. I could hit up homie right now. It's pretty close to the music video we shot, and he'll give it to me for $1 and some envelopes.
Imagine, that's like beats too. Imagine selling beats, and then all of a sudden they ended up $50 for a beat, and then, or I'll just give it to you just to get my name out.
He's
you know
a producer. Jay's a producer. You know? He went through that exact shit right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lease it to you for $25. It blew. It tanks the bottom, and especially in a community this small, right? We can affect that type of shit. One little tiny conversation. Hey, come here. There's the 4 of us that are, you know what I'm saying? The conglomerate. Look, dog, let's not go below this price.
Right.
There's enough work to go to you. There's enough work to come to me.
100%.
But, dog, you're not making any money. You're fucking up my money, and I know you're not making any money.
Yeah.
Right? It's
crazy. It blows my mind. And I'll try to preach to people and tell them,
don't do that.
You're just killing it. It'd be like, you know, us moving all the jobs 30 years ago to China, and then now it's 30 years later, you see what it's caused. You know, everything's dirt cheap.
You blow the bottom out.
Just like the wood during COVID. What was the
shit, bro? Yeah.
The 4x8. I forget what it's called. They were $7, and all of a sudden they're $60.
Yes,
but you got to think, Johnny. How is Home Depot buying a 4x8 sheet of wood, compressed wood? Would they buy it for $3? And they're selling it for $7.
Yeah.
We've been spoiled on a lot of things here. We used to manufacture things ourselves. We were the innovation place. If you were to really think, in 100 years, skyscrapers that weren't here, New York being built, all these things. I mean, we might be behind here in Albuquerque, but you go other places, you're like, this is crazy.
We got a skyscraper, brother.
Yeah, 22 stories or whatever.
Bank buildings, get out of here.
Hey, that's our fucking skyscraper.
Yeah. Got to get out the deep voice. But you get when
I agree. you blow the bottom out, right?
Right.
You completely kill it. And again, I say this
Everybody's
all the time,
core.
and I don't care who I'm talking to, even if a youngster. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it. I'm gonna say fuck. But I learned everything that I needed to know about business in the worst business you could possibly be in. There was real consequences, dog.
Right.
Like legit consequences, not just like, fuck
You gonna
you.
get hurt?
There was legit consequences.
Yeah.
You're gonna get fucking hurt or you're
Right.
gonna go to fucking jail, dog.
Right.
And doing that type of shit, right? Going and getting it for cheaper and coming and post it up on my little area right here and trying to fucking take away what the fuck I got
Imagine.
popping is a problem, right?
Imagine.
Especially in the smaller spots, bro. New Mexico's not that big, bruh. So if you're getting it for cheaper and your homie got it for a certain price over here and you guys live 5 houses away from each other and you're selling it for cheaper, you don't think that's gonna create a fucking problem?
Right.
All the fiends are gonna come to my house and be like, hey, dog, shit, Todd down the street giving me $10 off everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Todd, you motherfucker. When all it took was for me and Todd to have a conversation.
Right.
Listen, I know you're getting it for cheaper, Todd. You got my price now. Stop. Don't fuck up the market.
Yeah, don't pass on the savings.
Don't pass on the savings.
Right.
Like, don't completely fuck people over.
Right.
Right.
But a business is a business when you turn a profit.
Right.
You have to turn a profit. If not, you're a non-profit organization,
Right.
my dog. And I did not come from a non-profit organization.
right.
Ain't no non-profit drug
Unless
dealer.
you're
There ain't no
greedy.
non-profit drug dealer.
Unless you're greedy, you're buying the candy bar for $1 and selling it for 10.
Exactly.
Now that's a different story. We
That
got a
you're
lot
talking
of
about Home
greedy-
Depot with the wood.
Yeah. or like a lot of
with the
paint,
candy.
like or big name paint, automotive paint. They're literally, I mean, like a gallon of clear, $600 to $1,000 for a gallon of clear. Blows my mind.
What?
Nobody
That-
can afford that here. and it takes-
$1,000 for a
and
gallon?
Imagine if you're doing a lowrider, you need at least like 4 to 6 of those things
Holy
to base and flake and to clear and to sand and to pattern and to clear and to sand and to re-clear. You know, it's not cheap. So everybody here results in buying cheaper product. You know, so that's why we even started selling paint. I'm like, man, I want to, from a painter to painters,
Yeah.
want to give you an amazing product for an amazing price. But still, like I tell people, we need to make our money too, but we're not buying that candy bar for $1 and selling it for 10.
No,
There
dog.
is a difference between that. You know what I mean?
There is. It's funny. We were just talking about this before I set up the cameras. Like these right here, the one that I'm rocking. This is a hoodie that I'm probably not going to press up because it's thicker. It's more expensive. Like I can't
Nobody
get
could
it.
afford.
I can't get it for the price that I want to sell it to my audience for.
Right.
Because I'm not trying to get out there and be like, hey, I got this hoodie for 30 cents from China.
Yeah.
Printed that shit. It cost me $2 and it's going to cost you guys $65.
Yeah.
Cost me $2. Y'all get ready to pay $65. Like that would be fucking crazy.
No, really though.
So I don't ever want to get a product that is like it's too high for me to make because then I have to pass the buck down onto the audience.
And you still gotta
Then
make
it's-
your money.
I got to make my money
Right.
because, like I said, this is a nonprofit.
Right.
I'd love to have enough money to be like, everybody gets. I wish I was Oprah. You get a car. You get a car.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. But listen, I'm not. I got 4 kids and a fucking mortgage. I gotta survive, my dude. But I don't ever want to take advantage of the people that support what I do. So even
Right.
back with the CDs, right? I would get them for a certain price, but I wouldn't okay, for example, okay? Back when Christina Aguilera and fucking Dr. Dre and all these big fucking artists were selling physical copies of CDs, right? I was like, yeah, $16, that's a good price. That's what we got to pay. Then when I started pressing up my own shit and I figured out that they were getting
like,
the fucking
16?
CDs. When I figured out they were getting the CDs for like 25 cents,
Yeah.
completely packaged in a jewel case, I was like, God damn. These motherfuckers got over on me. The markup on that is crazy, bruh. The cheapest I was able to get it down to, I would order like about 5,000 a pop, and I would get it to about $1.
Right.
$1 CD, jewel cased. I'm giving away game right now. I don't even know
Yeah,
whatever
everything
label
on it,
package
yeah.
ready to go,
Yeah.
even with a barcode.
Oh, they said the CD. Then they're making the most. Cassettes cost so much to make. Records cost so much
CDs
to
cost
press.
nothing.
And CDs were literally nothing. That was the top of the game. And then imagine then here came in LimeWire.
Oh, yeah, they were pissed.
And we were all downloading stuff for free.
Oh.
And then they changed the whole game to have to start. start
Streaming and subscriptions.
iTunes
I gave
and
like 3
Apple.
computers AIDS with LimeWire.
Yeah, literally.
Seriously, bro. They were out here. I killed all of them. They were
Imagine.
done.
And now imagine artists like my son. He's an artist too. He has his own label too. Does music and same thing. Streaming doesn't make any. It's
no,
back. They're taking
nothing.
advantage.
It
So something has to
kills me.
change in this too. Something has to change real big in the music industry.
Well,
Yeah.
and this is a perfect place to bring it all the way back around, right? Because it's all art,
Right.
okay? And that's the hardest thing about being an artist is selling and packaging your art, right? Like if I sold, I don't know, let's say mufflers, Doug. You need this muffler because your car is fucked, dude. I'm showing you exactly why. Like okay, the perfect example is that moment in Wolf of Wall Street, right? Whenever Leo tells him, hey, sell me this pen. He's all right. He's all, hey, can you sign your name for me? He's all, I can't, I don't got a pen. Supply and demand, motherfucker, right? You need it, so you gotta sell it. Art is not
A needed
looked
thing.
upon as a necessity. It 100% is.
Right.
Because without it, we'd all go fucking nuts.
Right.
But it's not like a necessity like that.
Right.
So you're selling an idea, a feeling, right? You're selling an experience, which is harder to sell.
Right.
And especially now when they're giving the experience away for
Yep.
fucking pennies.
Right.
They've
It's that whole what
diluted
we're talking
it.
about. Yeah.
So
Where nobody's
far,
making any money
No.
but the big guys.
them at the top.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck it. LimeWire
Yeah.
fucked it all up. Now let's fuck it up even worse.
Yeah.
Spotify's
They were
fucking it
they
up
were
now.
pissed. They were pissed that they took away their fucking CD money.
Right.
Now they're like, well, we got the CD money back, dog, plus some. But what it did is it's degraded the art so far down, and that's for movies and music. They go hand in hand with each other. Bro, I was on Tubi the other day. What the fuck? How does some of that shit get made? It's fucking, nowadays, anybody can make a fucking movie. Just like with music. Anybody could make music. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's dope that the tools are there to access them. But it's diluted the game so far that it's like, well, shit, the movie was good enough.
Right.
That song's good enough.
Yeah, we settle
Yeah, we settle
Yeah.
for the
for,
art.
for something that ain't even anywhere in the neighborhood of what it should be.
Exactly.
And imagine that's that whole what we're talking about. People shooting up in the streets. It's so normal to us now. To not making money so normal. Going to something that ain't even that good. Listening to something that ain't even that good. Versus I'm hardcore 80s, 90s. I grew up heavy metal, classic rock, breakdance, electric funk. I mean, anything just about but country. You know what I mean?
It's tangible. And
Yes,
even country I'll fuck
tangible.
with. There's tangible
But
country there too.
Nowadays, it's music. It comes, it goes. You listen to it a little. It's nothing you'll be like in 30 years. Man, I'm listening to what's out in 2026. You know,
My brother, you just made me think of a really dope moment that I had with my son again. We're going to call this the Dom podcast. I've brought him up a lot. So, so I'm not going to ruin, spoiler alert, watch fucking Stranger Things, fuckers, all right? So there's this moment, right? There's this moment where Purple Rain comes on, okay? At the very end of it.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, well, that's because you've been hating.
Watch
right?
the movie, fucker.
Yeah, watch the movie, fucker. But there's this moment, big moment, when Purple Rain comes on, okay? And it's just fucking palpable, dog. Like you could touch it, right? And my son's like, you know what, Dad? It's dope what they did. Like they gave my generation a moment that you guys have talked about, like these moments with this music,
That's
right?
funny,
They
no.
gave my generation
That's
a
a good
moment
one.
with this song
Right.
that now we'll all remember forever. It's this emotional attachment.
Right.
That kind of music is the only, that era, that vibe, that time when you had to actually create it with your hands and you couldn't
had
just
to be
fucking
able to
say,
be
you couldn't just say,
talented.
hey Siri, make me a song about fucking Purple Rain, right? You couldn't do that. So it draws out this emotion that's different and tangible,
Right.
right? You could fucking touch it.
people
dog.
cared. They wrote
They
it.
cared,
They cared,
they
and
wrote
it had
you could feel
substance in it. Like
And my son's like, they gave us a moment with that song that now my generation is able to understand it and be like, oh, okay. You see Prince's
They can
fucking
feel
streams
it.
skyrocketing.
Well, that's that running up the whatever. The,
Yeah, exactly. Run it. Exactly.
And back then we would have been like, that
Yeah.
song is hurting, but now I'm actually like it.
fuck
I'm like,
with that shit. I'm a
like,
K.
man,
Bush
this
fan,
is cool.
dog.
You know what I mean?
Out here fucking with K. Bush and shit.
Yeah, exactly. But back then it was like there was so much good stuff.
Running up the hill.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit. I butchered that shit. Hey, I hit the notes. Auto-tune that shit, Jay. Auto-tune that shit. But it's the shit because it lets you know, right? It does, that if you want to create long-lasting art, like for real, you got to put your hands on it, dog.
Hard in it.
You
Blood,
at your
sweat,
heart,
heart.
blood, sweat,
Yep.
tears, and you gotta
care.
touch it.
You
dog.
gotta care.
You can't just, it can't be made cold and without the human touch.
And I think a lot of the music nowadays is that because you could just click everything in the programs and then you just hit play and then you got a song and it's like, nah, you didn't even touch the fucking piano, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You
It's
didn't
all
even play any
samples.
drums. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
Dog, you remember when it was a Super Bowl and Prince just got on his motherfucking guitar and it started raining? Dude, that was divine, dog. That was like, oh yeah, here's a little bit of rain for y'all. Dude, that's crazy. Who right now, as far as artists go in the music industry, could do something like that could move generations for years to come? They're out there, they're just not getting the attention because the machine is pushing the cookie cutter microwavable stuff, right? Like in the streets would probably be the same, like, man, shit, I don't know if I should go to Rob. He's charging me this, but I could Temu a Fender. You know,
Temu some
I could Temu some, I could do this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's got some fucking candy paint on that shit. The stripe is a little crooked, but whatever, now you can't notice. It's just on this side. Versus going to the dude, right?
Yeah.
To actually get it done. It's a piece of art.
Right. Well, that would be like now you can buy that program, Suno.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man, you can literally, and you might have been saying that, you can say, okay, I want it to be kind of funk. I wanted some SOS, maybe a little Gap Band style in there. I want it to say this, and that. You press boom, and the next thing it creates you a whole song, and then you can actually get it listed. Imagine all the music we already been listening to here lately that you don't know. There's a Christian artist called Ray something, a bunch of controversy. It's literally AI created his image, his music,
Oh,
his all of
yeah,
those
I seen
things.
that guy.
Solomon
Yeah,
Ray.
yeah.
And it's all through that Suno and
He's
through
charting,
Chat GPT.
though. He's charting.
And it's charted. And
Yeah.
it's scary what's gonna be
that.
happening. Imagine though,
Fuck
Johnny.
that. Don't look at me that way, landwords.
Yeah.
I was
Imagine.
We
stand-
here, baby.
Hey,
With
I'll
Su- with
fucking
Suno-
die on this hill, bruh.
With Suno, you don't own any of it.
You don't own any
Yeah,
of it.
so
Yeah.
like monetizing anything like that.
Okay, but do you
gets
think
tricky.
Got
think
you.
there's gonna be a Suno artist that's running up the hill? No, dog. It takes the human.
You can't go see him
It
perform.
takes
He's
the
got it.
human touch, bruh. It takes the human. It takes our experiences, right? It takes being clean for fucking 16 years. It takes being fucking shot at. It takes being divorced. It takes losing and loss and emotion to create those kind of things, bro. Which fuck
They
that.
got counterfeits.
They do. Timus.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm all for getting your belt, right? Say you're a Batman, right? Okay? And he's got his utility belt. I'm all for AI being a part of the utility belt.
Right.
Not the entire fucking Batman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, oh, there's my AI fucking bat shield. Cool. I got other shit. But when the entire fucking Bruce Wayne is AI, bro, that's where I draw
It's
the
all
line,
fake.
dog.
Yeah.
Imagine movies
Did
will
you
be like
bro,
that too.
Did you guys see those robots that China has that like
Yeah.
dance on stage? They're like
Yep.
throwing flips and
Yeah,
shit.
it's
They're like
crazy.
background dancers.
Yep.
I seen them
Imagine.
doing karate and shit too.
Yeah, they out here
They
doing
won't
karate.
need no more real dancers. They won't need no more real actors, no more real musicians, no more. It might be a minute for somebody, of course, you got to think with the rap. Somebody could duplicate what I do in a rap and just put it on the car. But, you know, some things, the true artistry is going to take a minute to duplicate. But
I
you got to
didn't
think with
even-
that dancing and with all these things, you know, it's crazy.
I didn't even think about that,
Yeah.
brother. You just brought up a perfect place for us to fucking talk about before we get out of here. Has that affected your industry? Has the car raps
rap?
affected
Yeah.
your industry?
In the lowrider world, we don't accept that at all.
Yeah.
That is not accepted. Maybe
Good.
your everyday car or something that you might
Your
drive.
Tesla.
Somebody might, something like that. But nobody is going to get a rap. It is not accepted. That would be frowned down on. We stay pretty hardcore to that. There's a lot of like, there ain't no rule book, but you got to think, man, and maybe in the Fast and the Furious cars, those a lot of raps, a lot of, in that world. But no, I got to say we've been staying true to the game on that. To where nobody, that's not accepted.
Good.
That'll be crazy. Now, the RC cars, which even me, I frown down on those. A lot of them. There's a lot of people custom painting them, in person. And there's a lot of just stickers. I walk by the sticker ones. It's like,
Oops.
Yeah.
I broke this shit. Oops.
Yeah.
I feel you, dog. It worries me for some things, and I still like. Man, I like to give grace to humanity, bro. I like to think that we're gonna be able to say, you know what? Yeah, bump brakes, dog, a little bit. We control this. It doesn't control us, right? I feel like I still got faith in my brothers and sisters that we're gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna be on my phone. My phone's not gonna be on me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Rob, my dude, thank you for what you do. Thank you for representing the community for as long as you have. And thank you for sitting down here to talk some shit with us, my dude.
100%. Same thing. You keep it up, Johnny. Definitely nice to meet you guys.
I will. And you guys heard the man. If you guys want to get your kids involved, I say this is dope as hell. Shit, I'm 40 and I'm going to put myself on the waiting list.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We need an adult class up
And
in
if
this
you need
motherfucker.
paint supplies for your car to get your car painted, come to us too. Family owned and operated small business here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We ship as well. Vanderslice Custom Shop.
There we go. Keep it local.
Yeah.
We out of here, fellas. Until next time, respect the connect. Peace.